So thank you very much for the introduction. Members of the press, the European industry, and LG, Eddie, I thank you very much. Thank you for letting me approach you and address you. I am a vision scientist. The father of my discipline, if you will, was German. Dr. Helmholtz was a German scientist who studied vision. And today I would like to speak why OLED is good for the eyes, good for vision. And the previous speaker talked about the blacks being blacker. Each of us has had the opportunity to view OLED. It does look better, and let me explain to you why it's better from a vision perspective. I have spent my career as a vision scientist. I have spent my career in vision ergonomics. That is how I have spent a lot of time with my research being funded by people that put pixels on displays, and they want to make people as functional and as comfortable as possible. That is my main mission in life. And let me take you back to a fundamental, and that is that we can see detail in this room. We can also go outside and see detail, but outside is about 1,000 times more luminous than in here. Yet we still see detail in here and out there. And it's because our eye, our vision system, responds to deltas. Delta I over I. We see contrast. And that's what contrast is, delta L over L. It's the same thing as delta I over I. We see differences in vision. And this allows us to hunt under dark conditions, under light conditions. We can see the detail. We don't see absolute values of light. We see changes. Delta I over I is usually measured by the stimulus seen above. It's about 1%. No matter what I is, delta I is about 1%. So we see differences. Differences we call contrast. This is a series of pictures that I took. These were not planned. I retrospectively went back, and these were just recent pictures that I took, and every one of these pictures would benefit with a greater delta I in the darks, in the dark areas. For example, if you want to see more details in the foreground there, you would want to see delta I's, small delta I's. The problem with delta I is that delta I keeps getting smaller. So when you have a blacker display and you can show delta I at low levels, that is easier accomplished than at high levels. In this industry, I think we have become used to bragging about how bright something gets. Well, that's because you can put a number on it, but it's not the best for the eyes. The best for the eyes is being able to control a signal into the darks, into the small delta I's. And OLED technology, which is the future of this industry, as told to us, OLED technology enables better blacks. The blacks can get blacker. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger, a statue of him. And wouldn't you like, you could see more details in this bronze sculpture if you had better delta I's in the blacks. Same thing with here. You could actually read the inscriptions here if you had OLED technology on this, which we don't have OLED technology. And there it was difficult for me to find a picture in my camera roll that would not benefit from better signals in the darks, better delta I's in the darks. And this shows how delta I keeps getting smaller with darker images. At 650 nits, nits is what we use to measure the luminance of a display or of an object. And at 650 nits, 10% contrast is plus 65. At 6.5 nits, it's 0.65. So we are much better off if we're able to control the signal into dark areas, which OLED technology enables us to do. It pairs very nicely with HDR. And also, what we did is we studied a range of gray levels, 0 to 255, and we found that the LCDs at the higher levels do not have discriminative luminances, whereas OLEDs, which only go to 647 nits, allowed a greater luminance range, a greater range of contrast reproduction, if you will. Also, we found that the brighter light levels that are accomplishable with LEDs or LCDs cause visual discomfort. People don't like the bright levels. They like the more comfortable ranges of the OLED technology. So with that, it's better vision, okay? You can see the better vision, and HDR benefits a lot from OLED technology. This is why all these OLED screens look good to us, because the blacks are blacker, and you can see the signals into darker areas of the picture. Now, as far as the eye health goes, there is less. The red line is the OLED emission spectrum. The blue line is LCD, and we can see LCD emits 3.49 times more blue light. The blue light is contained over here in this region. That's the blue light, and it's well known that blue light affects your sleep cycle. Some people have problems when viewing TV or viewing their computer display late at night. They have trouble with sleep disruption, and the OLED technology would be less prone to cause those problems than the LCD technology. So, in summary, the human vision is designed for contrast. We see contrast. That's the main thing we see. We see differences, and that enables us to perform under different levels of illumination, because we need to perform well in the morning light, the afternoon light, the evening light, even moonlight. We need to perform well under all of those conditions. OLED technology enables that. Higher luminance leads to smaller added performance benefit, because the higher luminance, the delta I, is large. And you need to have large differences in order to see the signal. You see the signal better when it's darker. And OLED technology gives us that. Discomfort increases with higher luminance. OLED is excellent in providing better image contrast and yet lower discomfort. And OLED produces low blue light. A word about blue light. Blue light has been implicated by some as causing eye damage. I would say that it doesn't cause retinal damage or corneal damage. Certainly at the levels that we expose people to, it does not cause damage. There are some research papers that talk about blue light causing damage, but they are unrealistic levels of exposure that cause that damage. But in order to study the mechanisms of the damage, the studies need to cause the damage, so they expose the animals to large amounts of blue light. Also, blue light has been implicated as especially causing discomfort to the eyes. I'm not familiar with any legitimate research that supports that either. So, but it does produce low blue light, and blue light has been shown to affect sleep cycles. So I thank you very much for allowing me to present this to you. Thank you.